Hey everybody, welcome to MT Guitar. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're doing part 2 of a music theory lesson on 5 ways how to solo over 1-4-5 progression. This is part 2, methods 4 and 5, and I'll leave part 1 in the description below. Part 1 we covered the first 3 ways, which were 3 modes of the major scale. The first method is Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian. Method number 2 was major pentatonic over all 3 chords, 1 major pentatonic. Method 3 was a major pentatonic on each chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. That works really well for country and pop, folk, things like that. And now part 2 is methods 4 and 5, which are more rock and blues based. And so method 4 is minor pentatonic over all the progression. And method 5 is Mixolydian scale over each chord. So Mixolydian over the 1 chord, Mixolydian over the 4 chord, and 5 chord, so 3 scales. What I'll do is I'll show you how to combine those two to really get some interesting things, which is kind of what I did at the end there, where, you know, you hear great blues players do that a lot, where they'll blues out, and then they'll go into a Mixolydian mode. You learn all these great scales, and then one of the great things you can do is sort of put it all together. So I'll show you how to do that, and check the description below, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And other than that, let's get started on this lesson and zoom in on the hands. All right, so the first thing to learn here is method 4. So if I'm playing a blues in E, then I can use this pentatonic scale. Actually, I'm going to teach you the blues scale, which is the pentatonic with an added note. 0-3, 0-1-2, 0-2, 0-2-3, 0-3, 0-3. And if I play a blues, E7 to A7, back to E7, on the A chord, it works wonderful, especially in A7. B7 works as well. So what you want to do is you want to learn the pentatonic all over the entire fretboard, which I need to do a separate video for that, but they're all over the fretboard, of course. In any scale you can imagine is all over. So here's there. Right? So that scale would work over any 1-4-5 in E. Now if I play a 1-4-5 in a different key, let's say I do it in G, I would do a closed pentatonic position, imagining that this were the same scale 3 frets up. And the pentatonic works all over the fretboard as well. So that's something you can always do, and that's method 4. Method 5 is a little more theoretical, but it's using the Mixolydian mode, which is the 5th mode of a major scale, on all 3 chords. So let's talk about a Mixolydian mode. A Mixolydian mode is a 5th mode of a major scale. So the difference between a major scale and a Mixolydian mode is 1 note, and it's the flat 7. So here's an A major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A Mixolydian flats the 7. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of 7 here, it would be flat 7. And that gives it a rock or blues quality. You wouldn't have heard that. You wouldn't hear that as much before 1900 or before blues hit the scene. Classical music didn't really use a lot of Mixolydian mode unless it was on a dominant chord. Right? You would hear it here. But we're not using it like that. We're using it as if this is the 1 chord. So it's a rock sound. And that just didn't happen before blues. So this is really important to know a little bit of history about the blues and how Black American music changed everything. Okay, so that's an A Mixolydian open position. You should go ahead and learn it all over the fretboard, and I can do dedicated videos on scale positions. But let's do the position here for open. O 2 4 O 2 4 O. That's the Mixolydian flat 7 note. 2 O 2 3 O 2 3. There's another flat 7 instead of a regular 7. Flat 7. 3. There's a flat 7 there. 2 O. Now we go to a D chord for our 4 chord. 1 2 3 4 chord. And I'm going to play a D Mixolydian. So a D major scale with a flat 7, which would be open, second, fourth, open, second, open, first, third, open, second, third. So that's your D Mixolydian. Now we have a 5 chord. 1 2 3 4 5. We want the E Mixolydian, so that would be O 2 4 O 2 4 O 2 4 1 2 O 2 3 O 2 4. So that's your E Mixolydian. So the last thing I'll say about this, I could go on for hours about just even these two methods, but if you combine these two methods, it's very powerful. So if I'm doing method number 4, which is minor pentatonic, I could always switch over to the Mixolydian scale. So let's say I'm playing the A chord for a while and playing the pentatonic scale. Now let me switch to the Mixolydian, back to pentatonic, now Mixolydian. You hear that a lot, right, in blues and rock, and that's going back to the Mixolydian. Here's pentatonic, Mixolydian. Pentatonic, pentatonic, pentatonic. So those are a few examples of going from A minor pentatonic to A Mixolydian. You can do that with any of the 3 chords. You can go from A pentatonic to D Mixolydian. Pentatonic, D Mixolydian. How about E Mixolydian? A pentatonic to E Mixolydian. Sounds really cool, right? If you're having a case of I just play the pentatonic and I want to do something different, this is a great way to do it. You really master the Mixolydian modes, which is done partially by mastering the major scale. So theory can be a little overwhelming. What I suggest is you really take the practical application seriously, meaning you need to mess around on the guitar, improvise on the guitar for hours, weeks, months, years. So you can let your ear and your fingers kind of lead the way, and then after a while the flat 7 idea of a Mixolydian will make a little more sense because you'll have heard it a bunch and played it a bunch. So there's my piece of advice, and I will continue these music theory lessons, try to connect the puzzle for you. So if you want more of that, let me know. Happy practicing, and see you next lesson. All right, well done everybody. So you've got this now to work on. Go ahead and subscribe to MT Guitar if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. And looking forward to next lesson. So we'll see you then.